Hello, everyone. Today, we are going to do a deep dive into a really crucial remedy, Agaricus Muscarius. You probably know it as the toadstool. Now, if you're getting ready for your exams, this is one you absolutely have to know inside and out. We're going to break down its most important features so you can feel totally confident. So in this explainer, we're going to zero in on the high-yield, frequently tested keynotes. You know, the stuff that's not only essential for your theory exams, but also for your future clinical practice. Let's get right into it. We're going to tackle this systematically. We'll start with the patient constitution, then move through its most characteristic symptoms, especially those affecting the nervous system. And we'll wrap up with a quick revision session to really lock in that knowledge. All right, first things first, let's really try to understand the kind of person for whom Agaricus is most often indicated. You know, building that clear patient picture is always the first step to mastering any remedy. Okay. Here's the original text from Allen's Keynotes describing the Constitution. The wording here is so precise, and it gives us 3 really distinct patient pictures to be on the lookout for. So, let's break that down. The 3 key patient profiles to burn into your memory are, first, the fair complexion person with what's described as lax or flabby muscle and skin tone. Second, the elderly patient specifically with poor circulation. And third, and this is a big one, its major use in cases related to alcoholism. Now we're moving into what is arguably the most important section for Agarics. Its really profound effects on the brain and the spinal cord. This is where the remedy's true personality shines through. This right here, this is the absolute cornerstone symptom of Agaricus. Seriously, if you remember only one thing from this whole explainer, make it this one. Pay really close attention to the exact wording, especially that modality at the end. Let's really focus on that key modality, the fact that these twitchy, jerky movements, what we call chorea, stop completely during sleep is the single most important defining characteristic of Agaricus. This is the detail that will let you pick it out from all the other remedies in an exam scenario. It's a game changer. Okay, let's look at another one of its core features, the very specific spinal symptoms. The text gives us such a clear picture of the pain's character, its location, and all the factors that make it worse. So what are we seeing here? The spine is super sensitive to touch, and notice how specific it can be, down to even a single vertebra. That's a huge clue. The pain is described as sore and aching, mostly in the lower back. And then you have your modalities, worse in the morning, worse with exertion, and worse while sitting. These are the exact details that pop up in exam questions. Okay, moving right along. Agaricus is loaded with unique, peculiar symptoms related to the skin and general sensations. And as you know, these are often the strange, rare, and characteristic signs that really help us confirm a prescription. This text gives us 3 incredibly distinct and characteristic keynotes. You've got a very unique sensation, a specific skin complaint, and a super peculiar pattern of how the symptoms show up in the body. You can think of these 3 symptoms as the golden trio of Agaricus keynotes. You have that sensation of ice-cold needles, the agonizingly itchy and burning chilblains, and this strange diagonal pattern of complaints. Memorize these 3 together. They are an incredibly powerful combination. You know, to truly master a remedy, we have to understand how it stacks up against others and what makes its symptoms tick. So let's look at some important comparisons and modalities. This is a really crucial comparison. Just look at the key difference in chorea. For Agaricus, the movements stop completely during sleep. But for similar remedies like tarantula, those movements can keep going. This distinction is a classic exam question. And here are the aggravations, or the things that make the symptoms worse. It's a pretty diverse list, right? You've got everything from physiological acts like eating, to environmental factors like cold air, to mental effort, and even atmospheric changes, like an approaching thunderstorm. All right, let's consolidate everything we've just talked about. We're going to boil it down to the most critical points you need for a rapid revision before an exam. This is your high-yield summary. I want you to memorize these 5 points. Seriously, take a mental picture of this slide right now. This is the absolute core identity of Agaricus. These are the symptoms most likely to show up on your exams. If you know these 5, you know Agaricus. So now that we've covered the theory, let's put your understanding to the test with a couple of exam-style questions. These are based strictly on the text we've just gone over. Okay, read that question carefully. I want you to focus on that key modality presented in the case. What is the single biggest clue that the mother gives you? The correct answer is, of course, C, Agaricus Muscarius. And why? Well, it's a direct application of that cornerstone modality we emphasized so much. The involuntary movements stop completely during sleep. It's a perfect match. All right, on to the next one. This question is testing your knowledge of that specific laterality, that pattern of symptoms. Think back to that golden trio we talked about. And the answer here is D, Agaricus Muscarius. This specific diagonal pattern, upper left, lower right, is a dead giveaway for Agaricus. It's a direct quote from our source text and a perfect example of how a peculiar symptom can lead you straight to the right remedy. And that wraps up our focused explainer on Agaricus Muscarius. I'll leave you with that final question to chew on for your own study. Keep going over these keynotes, compare it with other remedies, and you'll have this one mastered in no time at all. Thanks for joining me.